Hey, this is Michael, and this is Luca and Atticus. And today I want to talk about dreams of your pets, dreams of our pets, our animals visiting us in our dreams. Not just our living animals, but our animals in spirit, any animal. There's a really profound level of animal communication that happens in our dreams and our dreamscape. And a lot of times people come to me and they'll say, like, oh my God, I had this really wild dream and there was this profound message about my animal, about my pet in the dream, and I couldn't really remember it. And so often, as you probably know, in the dream state, in the dreamscape, we forget what we're dreaming about. But I've learned, our the soul level communication and connection with our animals is so deep and profound, and operates at such depth, such intense levels. And so, they're in our head, they're in our heart, they're in our soul. They're communicating with us energetically all the time, our living animals as well as our animals in spirit. And so when we're asleep, we are in a state, as I'm sure where we are relaxed and we're not bogged down by the stress of the day and our racing mind, and we're able to communicate and connect with our animals. And so when we have this awareness, we can really maximize it. We can get great information. We can remember our dreams and the messages that our animals are sharing with us. So what I love to do is, first of all, encourage you to keep a dream journal, to have a pen and paper or your phone by your bedside that you can write your dreams down, because often, as you probably know, you forget your dreams. This happens to me all the time, where I'll be like, I know I had this wild dream and I can't really remember it. Or I'll be driving the next day and suddenly the dream hits me. I'll be like, oh my gosh. When that happens, I will right away send a text message to myself to remember the notes of the dream. But when we set an intention to record the dream, when we are going to bed, so having a journal, maybe even a nice designated dream journal that's by your bedside that you can pick up when you wake up and write down that dream right away. Or even, like I said, your phone, just picking up your phone, sending a text message to yourself, or using the Notes app. Often I'll look back at my notes and I'll be like, "Oh, God, I don't even remember writing that down. I'm so glad that I recorded it." But what I've learned is, as well as my work with people and their animals, there's some really powerful, profound messages that can come through our dreams from animals in spirit that have crossed over, that used to be our animals, as well as our living pets. I've had like these deep, profound connections with these guys here, especially this one, in my dreamscape. It's almost like he can get through to me a little bit more, and I can get through to him a little bit more when we're in that altered state in the astral realms. But also, too, what I'll often do is invite the animals, my dogs or my cats, to meet me in my dreams. So you may just say, almost like saying a little prayer or an affirmation or intention before you go to bed, to, okay, you meet me in my dreams. What do you have to share? What would you love to enlighten me about? This can go for your animals in spirit. You don't even have to invite them or ask them, but doing so can sort of like amplify the process for you to experience it. I've shared this story before, where one time I had this dream that my dog Cooper, who was like my soul dog, she was with me for 15 and a half years, and she passed many years ago. She really changed my life. She met me in my dreams. I had a dream that I was walking up a road behind my house with my current pack, and she suddenly came up, and she was old and she was kind of rickety, but she suddenly just came up to us. And I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, how are you here? There was this big reconciliation, and it felt so real and profound. And she was meeting all of my current pack. They were kind of like, kissing and sniffing and, getting, just kind of like reconnecting like an old family member. And then we did the walk together. We like all got together and did the walk together, and we were walking together. And then at the end of the dream, it was almost like she was saying, I could feel her saying, like, okay, it's time for me. It's time for me to, disappear for now, but I'm always with you. I was feeling. And then suddenly I was woken up by an owl hooing. like really loud and profound, like this really profound who. Well, then I heard him barking in real life in bed. So there was an owl right outside my window, a real owl, which never happens, that was like so loud hooing, and he jumped up and started barking because of there was an owl outside the window. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And now for me and for many people, owls can be quite a profound spirit animal. They can mean so much. You know, if you do a little Google searching on owls, and you're going to find all sorts of profound spiritual information about the appearance of an owl. And so, but that owls have always been really special to me. And so the fact that there was a real owl that appeared in early in the morning, it was around 4 in the morning, and with that dream, it really touched me. And I immediately wrote this whole dream down. And I really felt that my current dogs were with me in the dream, and got to connect with Cooper in a whole new, different way. And, you know, Cooper just sort of blessing us with her presence. So I just wanted to share that story as an example. But again, just a reminder, you know, our dreams aren't something that we just sort of experience and disappear into the night. They can be a really special place for us to meet our animals in a real intuitive, energetic, and telepathic way. So, like I said, I invite you to consider your dreams as the sort of like meeting place, the higher realms, to connect with your animals and your living animals. Invite them in, set an intention, maybe a little affirmation, name your dog, your cat, whomever, see you in my dreams, and then notice what comes up. And if you know, you may have the dream and you don't remember it, but that's where the dream journal comes into play, and you know how handy that is, as well as a device of yours, as long as you're recording it. Also note too, it may be a download that you receive later in the day. Like I said, sometimes when I'm driving or walking the dogs, I'll remember a dream. I'm sure you've experienced that too. But most importantly, whenever you get the download, record it and remember it. So that is my tip for the day, a different form of animal communication through the dreamscape. And so let me know in the comments, do you ever have dreams about your animals and your pets that have been really, you know, giving you goosebumps and really felt like a deep, profound feeling in your heart and soul? I love to hear it, share. And if you want to learn more, you can always read my book, Intuitive Animal Communication, which is available everywhere. I share a lot of detailed processes and practices through meditation and other practices to connect with our animals, living and in spirit. And I'm here for you too. If you want to deeper dive or help with your animals, you know, you can reach me via email, through my website, through all of my social media. I'm always happy to help. Until next time, I don't know if you can see Luca right here. He's all relaxed. Luca, Atticus, and Buddy, who's right behind the camera. We will see you in the next video, right? You gonna meet me in my dreams? I'll see you tonight.